I feel that this has been a very good endeavor for the state. If you do not have a thought process of what it is you're going to get up and focus on, what it is that's going to help you accomplish those goals, then you'll spend all of your time being distracted, trying to deal with all of the whirlwinds that are out there that consume you. We've all seen today some of the results that have come out of it, particularly here with the Department of Human Resources and their defects in mental health divisions. So it's been a big success for us so far. It's helped us focus. One of the things that we have worked to accomplish the last 5 years has been a culture change in state government, to have hold people more accountable. Again, I think people want to be held accountable, to talk about teamwork, talk about communication, some things that perhaps weren't emphasized to the degree that we felt they should be. And this has really helped us accomplish that.
Georgia Department of Human Resources is the umbrella agency for all of the human services in Georgia. Whether you are a baby, a child, an adolescent, an adult, an elderly person, a person with a disability, a mental health disability, addictive disease disability, developmental disability, whether you're a needy family, you need Medicaid, you need food stamps, you need cash assistance, you need child care. We're soup to nuts human services for Georgia's most vulnerable families and individuals. That's our work, and that's scary work. Why? Because we don't see you when you're at your best. We see you when you're at your most needy. And it's our job to try to help you get back on the horse. So you take a job like this and you're the commissioner, you're the director of human services, and after the first day, every morning you wake up and you go, ooh, I tell my husband, open the paper. Am I in there or am I not? If I'm in there, is it good or is it bad? Because maybe I'll stay in the bed. Because every day you're waking up looking to see what's in the paper, or you're waiting for the phone to ring in the middle of the night, and your phone is always by your bedside, because if something bad happens, you get the call. So who answers the phone when it rings in the middle of the night? You do. And it almost never rings for any reason other than something very serious. What I discovered it always rings about is death and serious injury. And so when you start to think about what's the right, wildly important goal, what's the right thing to pull out of the whirlwind, to try to manage, get some control over, it is that thing called death and serious injury. And this I'll tell you, any commissioner, any director in the whole country, this is the subject that nobody talks about. This is the elephant in the room. We all are scared of it. We all know the newspapers write about it. We all know we get fired because of it. But it's the elephant in the room. Government is about skepticism, because all we ever do, skepticism about being able to do the scary stuff, because all we do is just kind of come and we turn the dials on, and whatever is there, it's there, and we don't think we manage it, we don't think we control it, we don't think we have even a chance of understanding it. Data is not our friend. We report to the feds, we report to this, but we never think we have the ability to gather between our hands a body of work and then understand that body of work well enough to make a good bet about how we can move the work from here to there. The resistance to saying this is the goal is about fear of the goal. It's about feeling as a group of people, I can't control that. That's not something I can manage. And that's the beauty of the process, because when you pull it out and when you begin to dissect it and when you begin to look at data about it, you learn I can control the incidents in my bailiwick that can lead to death and serious injury. I can do that. The reason why I thought I couldn't before is because it was caught in the whirlwind. There was 500 other things competing, easier things competing for it. Easier things. Once they decided to do it, here's the beauty of it. I don't know, the leadership team believes it, but the people who touch the people every day who might die or have serious injury really believe it. Why? Because they have to. They need to. I've finally given them something. How did they say? We finally gave them something that works. The man who says, you wait till I want to retire to give me something that works. Why can we now do it? And it's because we took it to the ground. We took it to the caseworkers in child welfare, one of the scariest jobs in the country. And we took it to the hospital staff in a mental hospital, a state mental hospital, one of the scariest places to be in the world. And we took it to them, and they needed it, and they said thank you, and they took it, and they made it happen. So I think the score got me because I believe if people know what the score is, that helps them to situate themselves. In some ways, I think people think of data in government as scary. Oh, I don't want to know what the numbers are. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know what I know. But the truth of the matter is, if you take it down to its lowest thing, like playing softball or any kind of sport, the score situates you. It puts you in play. You know where you are. It's nothing scarier in this work than not knowing where you are. And this sense of cadence, that just the rhythm of every week, the rhythm. And the more I do it, the rhythm is what works. The rhythm works. Because this week I'm going to have a meeting. Next week I'm going to have a meeting. Week after next I'm going to have a meeting. And the reason why I can't execute it is that I had no process, rhythm, week to week, day to day, that says to get from here to where I want to go. I know where I want to go. How do I watch it? All down the pike. And today, when we heard from the staff, that's what it is. It's a rhythm for them. How many times do we hear them say they love the cadence meeting? Who likes another meeting in government? Name them.
The WIG inspired us to do better work, not just faster work. And as a result, the staff were able to investigate only those allegations that rose to the standard of abuse and neglect. All the other ones, we realized that they could be responded to with support in the community and did not need that kind of a response from us. So it wasn't just timeliness, it was a quality response to families and communities that we ended up with. As a result, we actually decreased the number of investigations that we took on. Before, we were investigating everything and everybody every day within a 24-hour turnaround. That's why we had huge backlogs. And so once we really got into the work of the WIG, the one thing that we can do to change was to really look at which allegations rose to the standard of abuse and neglect. We investigated only those that rose to the standard of abuse and neglect. We saw our caseload drop. As a result of that caseload drop, workers' morale got to be better. They weren't overwhelmed, and they were seeing the success of completing things timely. As a result of that, there's two things that we really associate with the WIG. One is the recurrence of substantiated maltreatment. Today, we have cut the rate of recurrence by half. In January of 2007, that rate was a little bit over 6%. Today, it's just a little bit over 2%, which is one of our best and highest outcomes. If a child is maltreated, we don't want to see that happen to that child again. That's what that measure shows. The other one is foster care reentries, and foster care reentries is nothing more than when we send a child home to be with their parents again or their families. We don't want that to break down and have them to have to come back into being with a stranger. So we have also decreased that. In January of 2007, that rate was at 9.24. Today it's a little bit over 6. So the Covey process allowed us to tap into the innovation of staff, to let their their juices flow with creativity and with excitement about how to get this done. It got leadership less involved in the policing of the outcomes than the encouragement of the outcomes. It also gave us a very, very colorful way of talking about data, which in the field of human services, talking about data feels like sometimes it's not heartfelt enough. It's too much from the head and not enough from the heart. Well, the wig and the excitement that goes into it brings heart to data. Focusing on one goal and understanding the concept of the whirlwind allows a huge exhale for staff. When they saw that we were able to do that, to our astonishment, not only did that thing improve, but a bunch of other things improved it as well. So without intending to, we also touched the whirlwind. And I think that was a really big aha moment for us.
I think the idea of having focus, it's very easy because of the nature of social services to do good work. And you can work all day long doing good work because the needs are so great of the people that we serve, and it's worthy. I mean, working with people that are developmentally disabled or have mental illness or have addictive diseases, all of the work is worthy. And you can do good deeds all day long and never corral all of that energy and move the entire state forward. And so that's what made it attractive to me, is it gave it a focus. It gave all of the good work a focus. Part of the results were that we work with doctors. I mean, we work with everything from the most highly educated psychiatrists, some of the best in the country, to the people who work in our kitchen or our maintenance people. So it was the ability to take the work of Covey and make even the cook understand that their job was as important as the job of the most highly paid psychiatrist or consultant that walked on the grounds of that hospital. I think when we first started talking with the people from Covey, I understand that using this approach with a social service agency, particularly one of this size, because DHR is huge, I think over 20,000 employees, that they even took a deep breath when they thought about it and were wondering, you know, how it was going to play out, had a lot of confidence in the process itself. But I think we've all been surprised. I've been surprised at the creativity of my staff. I've been surprised that the doctors have embraced it, because that's probably the hardest sell, that they have embraced it. And certainly our hospital system is more focused on recovery now, which is something that has historically not been true for people with mental illness. And that is going to take Georgia in a whole different direction.
One of the biggest things that had an impact on me today was the engagement of employees at every level. I mean, you get used to in the government, the leadership, the director, the head, you know, everybody knows how to bow down to leadership in government. But we had frontline people. We had people who touched the work every single day, and they came in here ready to roll it out and to show you. They were engaged. And see, if there's one problem you have in a large bureaucracy, is how do you keep everybody tethered and engaged to the bottom line? And that's very difficult, because in government, nobody likes to give out performance bonuses. So you can't depend on that. Nobody really does a lot of recognition in government, because you don't ever have money. You can't. If you have a luncheon, you got to pay. Everybody's got to pay for their own lunch. I mean, so the ability to engage your employees just because of the work. I got no extras for you. And by the way, salaries in the government aren't exactly what you call at the top of the scale. I got nothing for you but the work. Please, be engaged. And when you look at these people, how engaged they were, I mean, this is unbelievable. The biggest source of resistance, I think, is the whirlwind. When you come into this kind of hard work with so many things to get done, people think, I've got to do it all. I've got to do the whirlwind. And then someone comes along and says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, you do have to do the whirlwind. But we want you to reach in there and pull out one or two, no more, really important goals that if you don't get them done, really not much else matters. The whirlwind, you can keep doing it, but it's not going to be meaningful. And people resisted the idea that I can only pick a couple of things, that I have to focus. And yet focus is the whole ball game. No focus, no execution. Everybody knows we have a wig. They know it's about death and serious injury, and they know we're trying to reduce it. For a giant bureaucratic organization, anybody in the government will tell you, if everybody in your organization knows that much about something you're doing, that's a miracle.